Hello everyone, today we're going to do a packet tracer of CCING 1 version 7 2.9.1 packet tracer basic switch and end device configuration. Here's addressing table, device interface IP address subnet mask. Device includes 4 devices, which are 2 switches and 2 PCs. From this topology, we can tell these 2 switches are layer 2 switch because they directly connected to these 2 PCs and devices. And we know that layer 2 switch use MAC address to forward the information, and they don't need IP address because the IP address is layer 3 IP address. And also, the physical ports or physical interfaces on switch don't support IP address. So when you see IP address on switch, this IP address only can be configured on the virtual interface, not on the physical interface, because physical interface doesn't support IP address. This virtual interface is called a switch in virtual interface. Switch virtual interface, or SVI. Here, the VLAN 1 interface is the default switch virtual interface. On PCs, the interface is NIC, stand for Network Interface Card. It is a hardware component on computer. It connects the computer to the internet. Objectives: configure host names and IP addresses on 2 Cisco Internetwork Operating System IOS switches using the command line interface, CLI. Use Cisco IOS commands to specify or limit access to the device configurations. Use IOS commands to save the running configuration. Configure 2 host devices with IP addresses. Verify connectivity between the 2 PC end devices. Scenario: as a recently hired LAN technician, your network manager has asked you to demonstrate your ability to configure a small LAN. Your tasks include configuring initial settings on 2 switches using the Cisco IOS and configuring IP address parameters on host devices to provide end-to-end connectivity. You are to use 2 switches and 2 hosts or PCs on a cabled and powered network. Instructions: use the devices to fulfill the requirements below. Here's the requirements. First, use the console connection to access each switch. Switch class A, switch class B. So we use console connection to access the switches from PC. Okay, let's go to connection icon, click. Then we click the console cable. Click student 1. We do the class A switch first, then do the configuration for class B. We select RS232 port. To switch class A, select console port. All right, so now the switch class A connected to PC student 1 through console cable. And we click student 1 again, desktop. We go to terminal emulation program, terminal. Here's the default setting, is okay. Add enter. So now we access the switch. We're in switch. Next, we need to name class A. So here's the class A, all right. And class B, we can do class B later. We're in the user executive mode. We use command enable to enter privileged mode. Then use command configure terminal to enter configuration mode or global configuration mode. They're the same thing. From here, we can configure host name. We use command host name. Followed by the host name, we give this switch, which is called as class dash capital A. So now you see the device name changed from switch to class A. Next, use the 8UB capital RU password for all lines. All lines include console line and VTY lines. Console line is physical line. VTY lines are virtual line. So we first, to configure password for console line, we need to go to the line configuration mode. We use command line console 0. 0 here means the first console line or the only console line, because there's only one console port on switch, so we use 0. Password, we use the command password. The password we give to the console line is 8UB capital R U. Okay, enter. Don't forget to log in. Login is to enable the password. Password, this command is to configure password. If we only configure password without login, this password doesn't work. So login is to enable password. Now we finished the password for console line exit. Next, we need to configure the password for VTY line. So command line VTY 015. 0 is the first VTY line. 15, the VTY line 15th is the last VTY line. So there are totally 16 VTY lines are supported by switch. Because all the lines use the same password, so I use up arrow to quickly get password command here. Enter, login. All right. So next is use the C9WRE secret password. Secret password means the encrypted password. So this password is for the privileged executive mode access. So exit, go back to the global configuration mode and use the command enable secret followed by the password. We give to the privileged mode is capital C9, capital W, R, capital E. All right, so next, encrypt all clear text passwords. Clear text password. The password we configured so far has two types of passwords. One is clear text passwords. Another is encrypted passwords. The console line and the VTY lines, their password is clear text passwords, or it is also called plain text passwords. So we need to encrypt these clear text passwords. The password we give to the privileged mode is a different command, enable secrets. So this command produce the encrypted password. So we need to encrypt the password of the console line and VTY lines. And we use the command service password encryption. Okay, it's done. Okay, we finished this one. Next, to configure an appropriate message of the day MOTD banner. Okay, next we need to configure the banner MOTD banner. So command banner MOTD, TD, don't forget this, and quotation mark, enclose the message, enclose message. I give the message authorized access only. All right, finish this banner. Next is configure addressing for all devices according to the addressing table. Addressing table. Okay, so we need to configure the IP address for class A switch and the student 1. So we need to the addressing table. Go to here. We're currently on the class A. So class A IP address is configured on the interface. So we need to go to interface configuration mode. We use command interface. Class A's interface is VLAN 1. It's a virtual interface. Okay, so IF is interface configuration interface. Okay, so interface configuration mode. Command IP address followed by the IP address. Class A's IP address is here, 172.16.5.35. So 172.16.5.35, followed by the subnet mask is 255.255.255.0, 255.255.255.0. Then we use command no shutdown. That's because all the interfaces on switch are in shutdown mode by default. So we need to use no shutdown command to activate the interface VLAN 1 or enable the interface VLAN 1. Here the message interface VLAN 1 change state to up. That's good. All right. So we configured the switch's IP address. So next we need to configure student 1 PC's IP address. So we need to close terminal and go to IP configuration for student IP configuration. So here is IP configuration window. We need to copy student 1 PC's IP address and put in this window. Okay, student 1 is 172.16.5.50. Okay, put here IP address 172.16.5.50 tab. Subnet mask is 255.255.255.0. But here, the third decimal number is 0. We need to change it to 255. All right, so we finished the configuration for student 1. Next, we need to save your configuration. Save configuration, we need to go back to the terminal. Okay, here, save. I use Control-C, back to the privileged mode. We do the save here. Save, we use command copy. Copy is save. It's running config to start up config. All right, so destination file name, startup config, yes, we keep it. All right, so we finished these parts. So next, we need to do the same thing to switch SB and the student to PC. Okay, we go to console cable. We quickly finish these parts and click student 2, RS232, switch class B, console cable, console port, and go to student 2 again, desktop, terminal, okay, enter. Okay, we access class B switch now. But here the host name is switch. We need to change the name, enable, configure, terminal, okay. And the host name, class dash capital B, class B, okay. And password for all lines. Okay, we start from console line console 0, password 8UB, capital RU. Okay, login, don't forget. And next is VTY lines. Line VTY 015. And the password, I use up arrow. Quickly get command, okay, because they have the same password. Login. Okay, good. So next we need to configure the privileged mode access password. So in secret password, enable secret. And capital C, 9, capital W, R, capital E. Good. And the next, encrypt clear text password, service password encryption. Spellings encryption. Okay. Encryption. Okay. Next is MOTD banner. Banner. Oh no, MOTD quotation. Enclosed message. Authorized access only. Okay, next MOTD banner is IP address. IP address is here. Class B IP address is here. We go to interface VLAN 1. Interface VLAN 1. Okay, IP address. Class B is 172.16.5.40, 172.16.5.40. Subnet mask is 255.255.255.0, and no shutdown to activate VLAN 1 interface. Okay, good. And we need to close the terminal, go to IP configuration window for student 2 PC IP configuration. Student 2 is 172.16.5.60. Right, 172.16.5.60. And subnet mask, we need to change the third decimal numbers to 255. All right, so we're good. So now we need to save the configuration. We go to terminal, okay, and Control C to the privileged mode, and I use copy. Copy is safe. Running configuration to start up configuration. I use a short version of the command. Good. All right, so we finished the configuration. Here is the completion status is 100%. That means the configuration we did is perfect. We next need to verify the connectivity. Verify connectivity between the two PC and the devices. So now we're on the PC student 2. We close terminal, go to command prompt. And from here, we ping student 1 PC. Student 1 PC is here, 5.50, 172.16.5.50. Okay, it's success. All right, TTL, success. Okay, sent 4, received 4, lost 0. So that means success. Connectivity is success. And we ping from PC1 to PC2. Let's go to command prompt. Ping PC2. PC student 2 is here, 5.60, 172.16.5.60. It's ping from student 1 to student 2. Success. All right, so we perfectly finished this packet tracer, basic switch and under device configuration. Thank you for watching my video. If you like my video, please thumbs up and subscribe my channel and share with your friends. See you next time.